Mama قالت Khaleefa dir balak. I was 6 years old. Not quite living in government homes yet, but still in one we couldn't afford. Forget about toys. We only got them on Eid. The rest were the broken and discarded we found on playgrounds. My mother's survivor, an angel in a gold gown, fluent in being illiterate in 2 languages, and yet in my eyes it never affected the luster of a gold crown. She bought me a Ninja Turtle at a garage sale. It was my favorite, the one I always played with until it was stolen out my hands by 2 young men, and I cried. I couldn't fight them off, I cried. Mama saved me though. She managed to get it back. We thought it was over. They followed us home. Mama pleaded, leave us alone, and they laughed and they mocked. They mocked my mother's accent while throwing rocks. How can these evil people sleep well knowing they wounded both lioness and cub that day? 25 years later and I still can't get that thought off my dome. بس ماما قالت خليفة دير بالك من عقارب. See, I'm 12 now. Fluent in the art of being a chameleon now. Used to being in large groups but never making a sound. See, the brown kids thought I was whitewashed. I knew grammar too well. However, the white establishment thought I still needed ESL. Caught in between these 2 extremes, how can I be blamed for speaking English better than my native tongue? I didn't choose this flesh I wear. I didn't choose this costume. Shunned by my own and by the rest, I had no place to call my own. And so, I once contemplated biting off my own tongue to spite them. In a fit of defiance, I spent most of my young adult life crying. But men aren't supposed to cry, or so I'm told. بس ماما قالت خليفة دير بالك من عقارب يخربون بحياتك. See, I'm 31 now. Not afraid of my own voice now. See, I'm defiant and refusing to be held down. My mother's still a survivor, still an angel in her own right. Decided to walk home on her own one night. Was followed by a group of 4 snakes hissing in villainous tones, possibly afraid of my mother's godly height. They called her ISIS. They called her terrorist. I wonder still what my mama do to deserve this. A woman so powerful and yet still affected by the way their words hit. Cried in her arms that night. They say men aren't supposed to cry, but fuck that noise. I cried in her arms that night. I remember looking up at my mama and asking her how she could be so stoic and yet not shed a tear. وماما قالت خليفة دير بالك من عقارب يخربون بحياتك اسحقهم وانسى السالفة. As an adult now, I'm starting to realize that I can pull their words like serrated blades from out my skull and brains. They don't need to bleed no more. The words can no longer carry weight no more. The words no longer could cause me pain no more. As I realized I didn't learn to speak the language of struggle, motherfucker, I was born into it. But no longer will I conform to it. My tongue moves freely and every syllable is a war drum beating. And I am screaming, Mama inti galbi, Mama inti hayati. And I'll be repeating that phrase in my native tongue till the day that I die. I know who I am now, and that can never be taken away from me.